Alright, how's it going, everybody? Man, that trailer looked awesome. Okay, so I just want to break down the trailer, kind of go over my theories and what I think is going to happen with the story moving forward, and how they might change the lore, and overall just express my hype for this new game. It's happening, man. It's here, September 19th. All right. Okay, so it starts us off with Liu Kang and his Fire God mode. So definitely picking up from MK11, the base campaign where it left off, where he controls the timeline and has reworked the timeline in his image. But that might not be the only ending that's true, and we're gonna get there in a second. So yeah, he tells us, he opens up the trailer saying it's time, and that we're gonna explore a new world, new era. A lot of people think this is Kung Lao or the Great Kung Lao, but I'm pretty sure this is Raiden. Um, I'm not sure what the confusion is. He's literally in all white, and he has a more of a comb shaped hat on. Yeah, I believe this is Raiden, especially because if I'm correct, Raiden, it was kind of teased that he would lose his godhood, and so now we could see him as a Mortal. And this next, okay, so this next image right here, this is beautiful, but I don't think they just created this just for the cinematic trailer. I truly believe that we're gonna get some sort of level of open world adventure with the new campaign, and I definitely can't wait for that. They have so much detail going on that I'm sure that this is probably taken a little bit from some in-game footage, um, or definitely inspired from the in-game footage. Because in previous Mortal Kombat trailers, what we see is pretty much what we get in the actual game. Maybe just a little less polished, if you will, because MKX looked beautiful when it dropped, and the graphics was right there up to par. MK11, same thing, as well as MK11 trailer seemed like just a normal fight, but actually teased a lot on the story, which I'm gonna get to in a second. So yeah, right here we can see he's in white. Really nice view of him. These graphics look really amazing. This new look for all the characters look really good and crisp. And yeah, there's just something in me that's saying this isn't just going to be for the CGI trailer. This is how the characters are going to look in the game. I really feel like this is going to be a fighting game, yes, but it's also going to have, like I said, that open world experience like the 3D era of games had with their conquest mode. And I think that's what we're getting back, conquest. We see Kung Lao. We could see he's in one of his old iconic outfits, I think from Shaolin Monks, or maybe it was MK3 or both. And this is clearly Kung Lao. You know, the flat hat, the dragon on his outfit. And see, in this shot, and if you look at the top left, that was all dark, but it lit up because of lightning. So right as they show him, we hear thunder, and then we see the lightning in the background. I think that was to give us a nod that this is Raiden. I don't think there's any thunder and lightning in the rest of the entire trailer, except for this part right here. So I think that was to let us know this is the mortal human version of Raiden. Look at that sunset and that imagery. Even if this is just how it's only going to look for the CGI trailer, they did a really good job with this. I love watching cinematic trailers. My baby girl next to me. I love watching cinematic trailers just for the visuals. Like the old Knights of the Old Republic trailers. Now this, at first when I watched this, I thought this was Outworld, because we got Mileena and Katana. But this has to be Edenia. You see the castles in the background. Everything is nice, beautiful, and colorful. Plants for celebrating. And Outworld is like a war-ridden wasteland. Now, if I'm correct in the original storyline, you know, Shao Kahn went and conquered Edenia. So maybe in this storyline, they're celebrating because he did not conquer Edenia. And if he did not conquer Edenia, and that this is the celebration of them defeating Shao Kahn's army or whoever, or maybe it's Onaga or something like that. But yet Mileena is still here. So that means Shao Kahn was a part of this timeline. And if you see later in the trailer, she looks kind of frustrated or mad at Katana. You know, Liu Kang says, you know, you could either have rivalries or put that aside basically and work together, or have your bitter rivalries and things like that. I think it's probably going to be a situation where Mileena is mad that Shao Kahn is dead, because she's probably closer to Shao Kahn than Katana was, and Katana's probably closer to him. to Sadell. So there might be a little bitterness there, not sure. Or maybe it's not even that. Maybe just Sindel treats Katana like her own, and maybe treats Melina like a monster. But we're clearly seeing them together as sisters, which is cool. And then this next shot, we have Sub-Zero and Scorpion, Hanzo Asashi, and I'm pretty sure this is Bihan. Because if we're starting back from the beginning, I don't think this is Kuali Yang. I think they're gonna showcase us the starting rivalry between Shirai Ryu and Lin Kuei. But also, even on this scene, we have Liu Kang say, you could continue with these rivalries or work together as brothers. And we see them turn together as they see this eclipse here. Now, that don't mean we might not still get a little rivalry between them. But I do think, as a lot of people have already talked about, that this is a good example of tag team being brought back, especially with what's on the website page. We'll get to that in a second. Yeah, again, beautiful scenery. So much of the world landscape, like they could have just had mountains or whatever, but you see buildings upon buildings. You see a huge landscape laid out, and I really think that's because you're going to be able to run around like Ghost of Tsushima style or GTA with the whole open world adventure to go on. And that might even be online too. I mean, we're getting on PS5. Things are a lot different than they was when Armageddon came out with their Conquest. I'm pretty sure we can play an online version, or we can help people out and stuff like that. And it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. I'm not sure if we're gonna be able to create our own characters, or if it's gonna be maybe a little bit of both. Because for sure we're gonna be playing with these characters, the actual characters from the game, because the pre-order bonus is Shang Tsung. So that lets us know, like, okay, we can for sure play with these characters. So here we have Katana and Melina looking out at this eclipse, and just once again, you see all the plants. You see how colorful the citizens are. So yeah, these aren't Outworld citizens; these are Edenians. Very colorful robes. Everything looks like rich and alive. Yeah, this is cool because I don't think we've seen Edenia in game, not to my outside of like the finisher to someone's story and us getting kind of like animated pictures. Here we see Liu Kang. If you had any doubt that he was Fire God Liu Kang, he is floating. He has his golden or his white tattoos that he had at the end of the last game. Coming into Kung Lao and Raiden. Now we see the iconic trio right there. Beautiful shot once again. Even the blades of grass and everything. They really did a good job. Just imagine being able to run through Earthrealm or Edenia with just the beautiful landscape out. It's gonna be pretty sick. And look, see, just one more time, if you look at this focus shot of just Raiden, this all white outfit, we usually see Raiden in white, some form of white or white and blue, things like that. He has like, looks like a pendant on his belt. That might be Raiden's pendant from MK9. I'm not sure. But see that those little details right there lets me know, yeah, this isn't the great Kung Lao. Not to say that the Kung Lao on side of Liu Kang isn't. Actually, I don't think that's the great Kung Lao either, just because he has again that iconic uniform. Now it could have just been passed down, so maybe that is the great Kung Lao, and that uniform was just later passed down to the Kung Lao we know. But yeah, this right here has to be. A sick portal opening up right now. Yeah, that portal looks pretty sick. And then I love the anticipation for this. I'm not gonna lie, I was really hoping this was about to be a Naga coming out, but who ends up coming out is still pretty cool because it's none other than Shang Tsung. A fresh new redesign while still letting you know it's him because you see the yellow and the black. I love how they're not trying to mimic any actors from the previous games because it's a reboot, it's a refresh, take a new fresh take on Mortal Kombat. So instead of characters modeled from real actors, they might be, but modeled still from real actors, but none that we like off rip and stuff. This isn't I forgot the dude's name who played Shang Tsung in the first Mortal Kombat movie, as well as reprised his face in Mortal Kombat 11. But Shang Tsung looks good, man. That looks really good. It looks like he has the skull face shoulder plates like he did in the Mortal Kombat movie that came out in 2018. Again, the iconic yellow and black, we've seen him in so much throughout the years. Now, for this to be Shang Tsung, either both endings are somewhat true, Liu Kang did succeed in taking over the timeline and making it new, but somehow Shang Tsung stayed alive as well. Or maybe with the extended version of Shang Tsung, maybe he didn't necessarily stay alive, but literally that other timeline is true as well, where he took over, but now they're fighting for dominance over the main timeline. I'm not even sure it's going to be that complicated. I'm not sure they're going to have too much focus on that. This might just be Shang Tsung from this timeline period, and maybe he knows of what was supposed to happen, how he was supposed to take over. Maybe he has some sort of secret, so he's going around, killing everybody and trying to mess up Liu Kang's time. Or maybe all the different images that we saw, of Sub Zero and Raiden and Luke Kung. I mean, Sub Zero and Scorpion, and then Raiden and Kung Lao and Katana and Melina. Maybe this is all in slightly different timelines, and Shang Tsung just keeps going through trying to destroy all these other timelines. I'm not sure. It's a huge possibility he won't even be a part of the game like that, as far as story wise. But then I don't see why they would make him a pre-order. However, if we look at Shao Kahn, he was a pre-order for MK11, yet he didn't have that big of an impact on the story. It was mainly, Chronica and Liu Kang. And here we see Shang Tsung going around taking out everybody, just completely wiping them out. And again, he takes Kung Lao. So I do find it, just particularly interesting that we see him suck the soul of Kung Lao. Maybe there's something there. Maybe he wants the bloodline or the souls of Kung Lao's family, because we don't see him do that to anybody else, only Kung Lao. Now, it could have just been for fun, because it does bring a callback to the 2018 movie and other times where, Kung Lao just gets crapped on. But there might be a little something to that. But anyway, still sick graphics, man. The detail is amazing. But Liu Kang ain't having it this time. See the tattoos glow. He says, you choose to defy peace. You've chosen to go to war with a god. This mug here just completely annihilates Shang Tsung. This is really beautiful, him calling out the elder god dragons and showcasing a new fatality form of Liu Kang. Hopefully we see this in game, where he grabs Shang Tsung's arm, leaps into the air, and splits him down the middle. And pretty unique and awesome, as well as it gets me excited for what type of fatalities we can see in this game. Maybe they'll be more open. Like I said, I think it's going to be an open world, but maybe they'll be more spacious and open, where you're using a lot of the environment around you or the space around you to perform the fatality. Could have, again, just been for the cinematic trailer. It was really cool and unique, almost like watching a movie. But I think it might be teasing, because again, if you look at the older trailers, like in MKX, for example, there's things that happen in that fight for that trailer that hints at, and we just didn't know it, that we'll be able to use the pieces of the environment, like breaking off the tree branch and swinging on the tree branch and stuff like that, knocking each other up high into the screen or higher, and widening the screen so we could see how high up we went. I think they started that in MK9. So MK11, we see a lot of teasing to the story that we just didn't fully catch on to. You see Dark Raiden because his eyes are orange. He defeats the Scorpion that we know, but then the Scorpion from the past comes and defeats him. Again, giving that hint that, okay, the OG timeline is going to come and mess up stuff, and that's what happened in MK11. And in here, I think we're getting both teases of what type of gameplay we can expect, as well as, open world and more spacious fights and attacks like Absolver and Ghost of Tsushima, as well as teases to the story itself. But there's this new fresh timeline, like you said, where you can choose to continue your rivalries or work together, yada yada. You got Shang Tsung coming around, just messing stuff up. But I also think I don't even think he's the big bad of this game. I think it's just a distraction. Like I said, Shao Kahn was a pre-order bonus, but he wasn't the big bad of the game. It was a small piece of the story, of the bigger story. I'm really hoping we get Onaga, or maybe even another Titan. That would be cool too. Like Chronicle was a Titan. And here we have Mortal Kombat 1. So it is a fresh take, which is why I don't think that the ramifications of Shang Tsung is going to be too prevalent, because we're really trying to do away with, we're done with MK12 storyline. This is, or MK11's storyline from MK9 to 11, from the original MK1 all the way to I guess Mortal Kombat versus DC, which I think is its own separate thing. So I should say, yeah, Armageddon then. But yeah, Mortal Kombat 1. This is a fresh take, fresh start, while still kind of being a continuation because we have Fire God Liu Kang and now Raiden is mortal. But now we can all relearn the story and have new lore to dive into. And like I was speaking on my video yesterday, just so much in this world that they can just keep expanding and expanding and expanding as much as they want until millions and millions of stories. Now here it says Kameo fighters. Choose from a unique roster of Kameo fighting partners to assist you in battle. To me that screams a form of tag team. Now I'm sure a lot of people have been saying that, but I'll go one further and say them saying a unique roster of Kameo fighters. They could have just said of fighters, but they said Kameo, which usually Kameo is referring to like, okay, this isn't that person's story or character story. Like usually how we use this is like, oh, so and so cameoed in. It's not really their story, or they're not really a part of it, but they made a guest appearance. To have a unique roster of cameo fighters, I wonder if we'll be able to pull from alternate timeline fighters to fight with us. We might be able to pull people like Havoc from the old 3D era of gaming and stuff like that. And maybe pull some of the combat kids and things like that. I think that's what they mean. We're going to be able to get some of the unique roster of people who we haven't played with in a while, from different timelines. That's the only way I can think of them saying using the word cameo, because I don't think they've ever used cameo fighters as a terminology throughout Mortal Kombat. And it says assist you in battle. I can't wait to know what type of fighting we're going to be doing. There's even a part on the website where it says we're going to have a different form of combat. This picture says immersive story campaign. Fight through a brand new story featuring your favorite Mortal Kombat characters like you've never seen them before. That immersive story campaign really has me excited. This could be, I know this has to be online because it's Mortal Kombat, but there might be more love and focus in the actual campaign than anything else, and I'm gonna love it. I'm gonna love to just be able to dive into this world and explore so much, and definitely bring more and more videos about every aspect of this game that I discovered. Yeah, here it is. It says it's in our blood, which makes me think that it's also going to be having a lot to do with bloodlines and family ties. But it says discover a reborn Mortal Kombat universe created by the Fire God Liu Kang. Mortal Kombat 1 ushers in a new era of the iconic franchise with a new fighting system, game modes, and fatalities. Now, if you want to be technical, MK9 and MKX was a new fighting system from MK9, and then 11 from MKX. But I truly think this is going to be like a revolutionary to Mortal Kombat in general. I'm hoping something that's on a mixture of like Shaolin monks and Sub-Zero mythologies, with still a level of like the MK11 ideas with the customizing and how it looks, and maybe the Injustice 2 ideas with like customizing our armor, and all that going into play on how we fight. I keep bringing up Absolver because I love how in Absolver you can choose your fighting style and add to it unique moves that pertain in that fighting style. And I can see this game definitely doing that because Mortal Kombat has always had plenty of fighting styles to choose from. So maybe you'll have a Liu Kang or a Kung Lao, but your Kung Lao is different from someone else online because he fights completely different. And it says with a new fighting system, game modes, and fatalities. We always know there's going to be fatalities. For them to mention that, I think it's because they're excited to bring to us a new way of performing fatalities. And again, that open, spacious fatality we see Liu Kang do on Shang Tsung, I think is a huge example of how we're going to be able to see fatalities perform in-game. Game modes make me excited, especially because I love the older game modes like Puzzle Combat and Combat Card or something like that, and Chess Combat. I'm not saying we're getting those back, but Mortal Kombat is really good and unique at the little mini games that they have throughout, and the game modes. It could be, again, an online battle system, maybe something like Tamriel Online, the Elder Scrolls Online game, or a mixture of like Elder Scrolls and that. A lot of newer games now have that in place. I think we're just gonna have that with online. added to it. It might be the best game. It has to be. I mean, they're always best game of the year, but this might be best game of the decade. I'm calling it now. Yeah, man, there you have it. Mortal Kombat 1, brand new reborn universe. This is going to be exciting to go over. I can't wait to find out more information so we can break it down, find out more what they're doing with the lore. And like I said, when it comes to just extensive writing, world building, I really think that the team at NetherRealm Studios and Midway, when they were still active, were just really unique. You know, Ed Boon's mind and John Tobias, their mind in creating all this, it's a wonderful thing to see play out. I think it can be inspiring for people who are trying to build their own worlds, whether you're trying to build a game or a book franchise or comic books. Being able to see how successful Mortal Kombat has done it, I think is a great way to gain inspiration on how your world can start off so small with just 7 characters and can grow into this huge thing where 30 years later you got people lined up and waiting to watch your trailer for your new thing as soon as it drops. It's unique, it's awesome, they definitely have a lot of success and they have more success coming on their way. Definitely congratulations to them and congratulations to us because we get to play it. Alright, I'll catch y'all later. Have a blessed one. Stay sick.